Hey YouTubers, how's it going? Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. I am not sure why I have this massive lag here. Hey YouTubers, how's it? Just an incredible lag. I'm just gonna kind of ignore it here, and I'm gonna go ahead and film what I want to film. I got this gigantic lag. I'm trying to see if I could fix this, and I guess I can't. So I'm just gonna go watch the live stream here. Sorry guys, I'm just setting this up for the first time. A lot of people are asking me to go live and set up the super chat, which I have done. And I got a couple of articles here I actually want to discuss with you guys. I want to know, by the way, happy Cinco de Mayo. Today is Cinco de Mayo, and no, I haven't drank today. I got too much sun. So I got a really bad sunburn, and it's cooking. I'm cooking. So I just want to see if I'm live here. If anybody is watching. Yeah, I guess I am live here. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and if there's anything I need to do here, please let me know. If there's anything I need to change, please let me know. But I do have a really good article here I want to share with you guys. And as Vancouver detached homes are rapidly disappearing, and this is becoming a massive problem. And I've been saying this for I don't know how many years now. I've been talking about this. I've been talking about this for years. Why? Because homes should not be commodities. Homes are like socks and underwear. You use them and then they go away. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't live, you can't take your house with you to the next life. You're not taking your house with you to the next life. There's no guarantee, but there's nothing that it says that the more real estate you own, the more land you have in heaven. No, I don't know what people are thinking. A lot, especially many investors, leaving their homes empty and buying 20, 30, 40, 50 homes. And this fractional reserve lending, I don't know if you guys studied fractional reserve lending. It's horrible. You know what I'm saying? It's just horrible. And this fractional reserve lending is destroying day-to-day lives, and it's getting to a point now it's affecting real estate. It was affecting the markets, and then what happened to the bond market, the stock market, the Dow, the S&P, the index. It's been record and huge earnings and just exploding across the board, and everyone's so excited and happy that everyone's earning and stuff like that, and then the Dow gets to an all-time high. But you know what, people? I don't know. It's just now it's hitting the homes, and now they're artificially inflating the price of homes, and it's a lot of people say it's a mix of everything. It's foreign investors, speculators, it's people that are getting approved for mortgages that don't qualify to get them, so they just could get into the market. And I don't know why a lot of these banks are approving people and allowing them to basically take out mortgages when they know they don't qualify. Their TDS doesn't fit, their CGS doesn't fit, and I don't understand how these people buy food. What disposable income do these people have? You know what I'm saying? But I want to just go leisurely through some of these articles here with you guys. Whoever's bored, it's Friday night. If you're watching this, you should be out partying. It's Cinco de Mayo. You know what I'm saying? It's Cinco de Mayo, and it's a very, very important holiday in the United States. Mexico celebrates it somewhat, but in the United States and California, they got the Cinco de Mayo parade. It's a big deal. Lots of tequila flowing today. It's almost like up here where we have St. Patrick's Day. Everyone's Irish on St. Patrick's Day, and everyone's Latino or Latin on Cinco de Mayo. Anyways, let's go over this. I want to go over this one here. Vancouver's detached home. You can see the article there on the right side below me. If you can't see it, call the cops. Anyways, Vancouver's detached homes are rapidly disappearing. And yeah, empty homes, people left with nothing. Where are the people that lived here? Where did they go? They went somewhere else. Fine. They relocated. And everyone's being pushed in like sardines. And everyone is like 15, 20, 30 people to a house. I mean, is that even legal? I mean, anyways. So let's go over this here. It says the number of single-family detached homes is rapidly declining in Vancouver according to the latest census in 2016. And numbers from Statistic Canada. More families are moving into multifamily units such as apartments, buildings, and condos, while the trend is consistent across Canada. Vancouver is one of the few cities where the actual number of single detached homes is declining, as more get snatched up for land assemblies. I don't know. Land assemblies. I think the land assemblies could be the Antichrist in the housing market. If you ask me personally. What do I know? I don't know nothing. But what I'm telling you, I think what's happening is people are getting massaged into believing that home ownership or a detached home or a place you could call home it's not really feasible anymore, or it's the old way of doing things, you know? Because I talk to people and people are telling me, so they're like, oh, you know, I'm just going to take transit because I can never afford to buy a car. That's the worst attitude to have. You can't afford to buy a car. You're already setting yourself up to lose. Now, the younger generation is coming up and saying, you know, housing's not for me. Now, I'm just going to rent a room or a tent in someone's backyard. You know, people are massaged into believing that this is the way to go. And I don't know why or how we've gotten to this trend where people... I understand that possessions, okay? Possessions are bad. I understand that too many possessions and the whole drunkenness of having so much and it becomes addictive and you want to own things and stuff. That's fine. But having a home, I think it's a different type of thing. You know, I think owning a home is, you know, laying roots, especially if you want to start a family, especially if you want to expand your family, especially if you want a place you could call home and hang your hat. But in all fairness, man, I don't know where this is heading and why it's happening, but I just see the younger generations programmed into believing that, oh, I don't need to own. Nobody owns anymore. I'm just going to rent. And you know what's going to happen, and you can mark my words, and I'm not joking about this. In about 10 or 15 years, you're going to start seeing companies like big automobile companies. You'll never own your car. In 10 or 15 years, you'll never be able to afford... No, not afford. They'll never let you own your own car, free and clear. Because they're going to say, oh, you know, one low payment of this, really attractive low payment to get you in. And then you have unlimited free oil changes, unlimited this for life, unlimited this for life, unlimited checkups for this, for that, for that. And people will buy into it and say, yeah, okay, I don't mind working and paying for this so I don't have to pay for repairs later. No. But that's how they get you into these contracts, you're massaged into believing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to look at the comments here and see if there's anybody commenting here. Fractional reserve lending. Search Google, Bank of England on creation is the best known banks for money. Good evening, Mike. Hey, guys, how's it going? I'm really happy. You know, I don't have a huge platform, but I'm very happy that I have a good, intelligent group of people that come together and discuss what's happening. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue with this article here. Total number of homes increased. Total number of homes increased in Vancouver. CMA grew, which isn't much of a surprise considering the population is growing. So the population is growing, but to me, the city of Vancouver is like the infrastructure can't support less than 900,000 people. I can't see Vancouver supporting more than 900,000 people. I'm sorry. It's just the infrastructure is not there. There's no expressway to get to the city from the highway. There's no expressway to get to an expressway or a proper highway to get to the airport. There's no, God forbid there's an emergency and you have to evacuate. How does one get out of the city? You take what, First Avenue? Anyways, I don't know what's happening. And then, okay, let's keep going. The total number of homes rose to 2,135,910. That's a 7.8% increase from 2011 census. To contrast, the population grew to 2.463 million people, a 6.5 increase during the same period. So 2.46 million people in that city. It is super overcrowded. You don't feel it. You don't feel it. I don't know if these numbers are accurate, right? But the city, I don't know. Comment below. How many people you think Vancouver was designed originally to accommodate? I'll check in the comments here. I have the comments open right here. I want to know from you guys what you believe or what you think. You know, because a lot of these cities, you got to remember, they're over 60 years old, 150 years old. They weren't designed. They were designed for horse and carriage, your typical, what do you call it, pharmacy, your Express Federal to ship your packages, your, what do you call that thing, Morse code thingy to send the telegraph. A lot of these cities weren't designed back in the day to hold 2.46 million people. And let's go back to the article. It's a 6.5 increase during the same period. This either means that there's a major change to structure of the families, less people in more homes, or homes are being used as secondary residences. Now, the article goes on to talking about detached homes are declining. The biggest statistical loser was a detached home in Vancouver, which saw prices soar at a height of a market last year in 2016. 282,355 families occupied detached units, a decline of 6.23% from the 2011 census. The detached decline is not something observed in cities like Toronto, where the density is 17% higher. It's unclear if less people live in detached units, as more as detached homes are now part of land assemblies waiting to be developed. In case you aren't up to on your developer lingo, and land assembly is when developers purchase multiple plots of land in one area to create a single suite. Currently, there are quite a few Vancouver detached housing being sold in groups to form these land assemblies. I want to know what you guys think of land assemblies. I love it. To me, I see land assemblies more as almost. See, I always look for the. What's the catch when it comes to, especially when it comes to real estate like this? I see people paying strata fees, like $300 a month, for like forever. So this way, the landlord doesn't have to collect rent instead of building rentals. The landlord's going to have to collect rents, and it's good. It's a headache when you just collect strata fees. Appoint a strata president, and just remove the people that don't pay strata fees. And I think it's to me, I see it more like strata. I see it more as like organized crime or some sort of a mafia. I talked about this before in many videos. That's just my point of view. You know what I'm saying? High-rise apartments increase. Households are rapidly adopting high-rise living in the city. Census numbers show 160,000 families were in high-rise buildings, aka buildings with more than 5 stories. Not low-rises, not to be confused with low-rises. That's a massive 23.83% increase from 2011. Love it or not. More Vancouverites are going to have to get used to high-rise living. Check this out here. Look at the percentage changed. Duplexes still exist, eh? A single family here. Yep. Now they go. This article could go on for hours. I mean, it looks like it's pages and pages long. I just want to know what you guys are thinking. You know, when it comes to these land assemblies. You'll never get that land back. You'll never get it back. You'll never have detached homes again. It's going to be land assemblies, and I just have this, Let's see what this says here. Low-rise apartment increase. The second largest segment of housing is actually low-rise apartments, which means they have less than 5 stories. 242,205 Vancouver census households were located in these, which is a 5.95% increase from 2011. Vancouver has notoriously tight zoning rules, so we can probably expect this trend to continue to rise. So this is change in home types. There's the percentage change from single family, high rise, semi-detached. This is a really good article. This is really good. It goes into, but a lot of the stats go back to 2011, so they're kind of old. So, and then source Statistics Canada, of course. As more properties are being purchased for land assembly deals, there's been a premium placed on single-family homes, which means the trend of multi-unit housing will likely continue. The real question is, how much more for a premium will people be willing to pay? And will they be able to recoup the value if the market changes? Now, that's the key right there. That's the key right there. Like, they're not preparing for market changes. They're just... A lot of people are, I don't know how to say, adapted into thinking that properties are going to keep going up. And incline, just a steady incline. It'll never go down. And like I said, what goes up must come down, right? And let's go over to Toronto, guys. Now, it's a different story in Toronto. You see, Toronto hasn't had a bubble for a long time. A year and a half ago, 2 years ago, you could go to the city of Toronto and you could pick up a decent house for like $490,000. You could go to the outskirts of Toronto, up at Scarborough. You could go up to Mississauga area, Brampton area. You could pick up a house there for like $390,000, $450,000 for like a big house with big land. Now, Toronto's seeing the other side of the coin. You know what I'm saying? Toronto homeowners scrambled to cash out in April. New listings soar 33 points. This is crazy. This is like within a year. So imagine you buy something for $1 million. In 1 year, it's worth 1.3 million. That's the best return you'll ever get. Even inside stock trading won't give you that much. This is phenomenal. This is crazy. Let me have a sippy here of my cranberry juice. Anyways, Toronto homeowners scrambled cash out in April. New listing soars 33 points. Toronto real estate saw its new listing soar by 33% and sales decline. Despite this, buyers still sent prices higher. There's the city of Toronto. I used to live there when I was a kid. And it was an interesting childhood growing up there. It was really nice. It was a nice city. Safe. It was safe. You felt safe. You had a lot of communities. You had an Italian community, a Portuguese community, a Greek community. Very European multicultural. Very. And when I went back recently, I noticed that it's been diluted. I noticed that the communities have been diluted, and there's a lot of empty homes, empty lots. I noticed a lot of things have changed, in the last couple of years. I got a comment here, a long one. Do you think house prices will eventually go down? Majority of Canadians already invested into real estate, and people left without a house or apartment are a minority. Politicians seem to know that. So apparently there's more people that own in Canada than rent. So if you guys know the answers to that, I'd be very, very, very grateful if you could, if someone could pull up that and find out whether or not whether or not there's more renters than, well, obviously there's more owner. Well, there's always going to be more owners because people have to rent through an owner, right? But the problem is how many owners own 40 and 70 and 100 properties. You see, when you get into that, it starts changing the whole demographic. I like to know what house prices go down. A lot of people are questioning this on a very regular basis. And what goes up has to come down. There's a recorded history since real estate transactions have been recorded properly in land title records and proper exchange of sales, that property has gone up and down, and people need to be aware of that. It's like, do you think every stock in the stock market is going to keep going up? Anyways, let's go to Toronto. Sellers are suddenly looking to realize their windfall. As here, somebody just commented. Oh, just says hi to Mike and friends. Hey, Randy, how's it going? 678 Rand Man. Anyways, so let's go back here. So this is in Toronto, guys. So this is what's happened in Vancouver to Toronto. This is nuts. Sellers are suddenly looking to realize their windfall as new listings reach a multi-year record, according to the latest numbers from Toronto Real Estate Board, TREB. Sellers are flooding the market while the number of buyers are declining. So here you go. Prices are going to still go up? I don't think so. There's so much supply. Despite the increase in supply and lack of demand, buyer mentality has sent prices to an all-time level. Toronto real estate prices climbed 24%. So it's backtracking now in the article when I told you guys it went up 25 to 30%. You know what I'm saying? And okay, somebody else commented here. Proud Canadian says, prices won't go down. Let's keep going here. The cost of buying a home inched up again, setting another record. The average sale price in April was $920 large, a 24% increase from the same month last year. The composite benchmark price, the price of a typical home sold, was $811 large across the whole TREB region. 31.7% increase from last year. In the city of Toronto proper, the benchmark, so the city of Toronto proper would be up to Steeles Avenue or Highway 7, I'm not too sure. Proper, the benchmark was slightly higher at $817,000 at 27.66% increase. Prices are definitely still climbing, regardless of how you measured it. So, Toronto is basically saw an average. Look at this, guys. Holy smokes. Look at this graph. Woo! Look at this. So, you're in 2015. You're like, everything's cool. You're cruising in your car. And then you're thinking of buying. I'm not going to buy. I'm going to hold off. Boom. Look at this. April 2016 to April 2017. Holy smokes. This is huge. Imagine owning a company. Like, seriously. You know what this is? An increase like this? It's like $200-300 a day. It's okay. You know what? If you actually, let's say you bought in at 500 large. You see here where it says 500 large. Let's say you bought it at 500 large in 2014. Okay. And that's an increase of 375 large or more, almost 900. Look at this. Look at this, guys. How much money is that per day? That's like $300 to $400 per day. That's a lot of money. I mean, my math was probably super off. I'm really sorry. $100 a day is $36,000 a year. So that's 1, 2, 3. So you're increasing, like, this is phenomenal. Anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. This is a huge. Okay, here someone's commenting here. So it's roughly, Toronto will end up like Vancouver, slowing down, lowering a bit, but not crashing. Proud Canadian says, $500 a day. Another reason housing is expensive. This is from Mr. Wake Up USA. Another reason why housing is expensive is third world populations bunk 15 people to a house, split rent 15 ways. This clashes with American culture, which accept one family house. And then Metro PCS says, Viva Cinco de Mayo, I'm thinking of you. Thank you. Anyways, now, hold on a sec. We need to take a whole step back here. Okay. New Zealand. I'll say it again. New Zealand. Why? Okay. New Zealand. I don't know if you remember the article I read for you guys. It was a month and a half, 2 months ago. I don't know if you guys remember that article. You better. This is a good one. For 30 to 40 people per house. And New Zealand's considered a really upbeat, technological, advanced society. Like, just, it's like living in Canada, Australia, United States. It's got some beautiful, beautiful cities. Auckland, very well organized, policing, no violence. And let me see if I could find the article here for you guys real quick. And we'll type here New Zealand, 40 people to a house. So you guys can see this. See, yeah, 40 people to property, 8 to a room. So you guys know I'm not making this up. Let me just zoom into the article here real quick so you guys can see it. See that? 40 people to a property, 8 people to a room, inside a nightmare in what's renting in Queenston. So this is happening, people. I read this article. When's this article from? So you guys can look it up. March 24. Okay. Right now, New Zealand's in a bit of trouble. Okay. It's actually quite a bit of trouble. And I'll tell you why. Because the southern hemisphere right now is going into winter. And if you're a flat earther, I don't know what to tell you. But what I'm saying, there's a lot of people in New Zealand, and I've read many articles, and I've been up to speed with what's happening in New Zealand, and I got some boots in the ground in New Zealand. People sending me articles that I just can't find on my search unless they get sent to me. That people are renting tents in backyards. Okay, people are renting a bunk in a house, and they rent a bunk for like one large per month. It's $1,000. A bunk, like you get a top or a bottom bunk for $1,000 a month, and that's what's happening in New Zealand. And New Zealand is, I mean, it's not on par with Japan when it comes to advancements and stuff in technology, but New Zealand is a very good place to escape to if the poop hits the fan, or if there's what do you call it, a disruption, if there's a natural disaster or something, or if there's if the government breaks down or the poop hits the fan. Basically, New Zealand to me is a place where I think you could be super safe. The Azores, yeah, I'm from the Azores. Look it up on the map. It's in the middle of nowhere. The Azores is super safe. Really good place. But look what's happening in New Zealand. This is not uncommon. I've talked to people, and they're telling me it's like living in a kennel. It's like living in a dog kennel. And I have a friend that went there, spent a year there, and said it was impossible to find. He says there was time he was working full time in a software design place in just outside of Auckland, maybe 10 miles outside. And there was times he had to sleep outside in the park because he couldn't find us. He was couch surfing for a year, and then he just came back to Canada because he couldn't find stable, and the employment really wanted him. They really wanted him to live there. Let's go. Wow, there's so many comments here. Let me catch up here. Wow, sounds like something that would happen in a third world country like India. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say. 40 people to a house. But this is New Zealand, right? That's why I left Los Angeles. This is Walking Journey, a personal friend of mine from Texas. That's why I left Los Angeles, California, to the Lone Star State of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas, buddy, all the way. And there are now more New Zealanders in Australia. Wait for the interest rates to go up. Boom. Walking Journey says, I was paying $960 a month for one-bedroom apartment in 2013, including light and gas and water. For one-bedroom apartment. That's not too bad in LA, right? In LA County, right? So, anyways, let's keep going with this article here. So, there it is right there. So, this is New Zealand. I'm not making this up. It's here. It's not going anywhere. And the problem is just going to get worse from here. Like, I don't know. It's not wine, people. It's cranberry juice. It is Cinco de Mayo. I'm allowed to drink, okay? But I'm not in the mood to drink right now. I don't know. So, 40 people to a property, 8 people to a room inside the. So, this article goes into how people have shifts sleeping. Things are so bad that people are starting to advertise themselves as tenants with perky little online profiles long before they even get here. 200 or 300 responses to one Queenstown rental post is not unusual. So if you want to get back at a friend, put his phone number on some Queenstown post for a rental. He'll get calls like it's a joke. I'm just joking. Don't do this. I'm just joking. But anyways, let's get back to the main article. We were here. So we did the Vancouver one if you want to backtrack in the video. But here it is. In 1 year. So look at this. December to April 2017. April 2016 to 20. Look at that. Look at that increase. Yeah. Let's keep going here. Toronto real estate's sales declined 3.7%. Sales have declined, although that's expected at these levels. Tree blogged 12,085 sales, a decline of 3.7% from the same time last year. Toronto proper saw 4,164 of these sales, a 1.9% decline from the same time last year. The higher the prices, the more buyers are priced out. So this shouldn't be a big surprise. So let's go back to what somebody commented here saying that majority of people own. What about the people being born? And what about the people that are in their teens that in the next 5 years when they graduate from college or when they get a job and they need a place to live? What about those people? They don't own. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be divorces. People are going to have to sell. There's going to be breakups. People are going to have to sell. There's going to be people passing away. They're going to have to sell the property to divvy up, or you know what I'm saying? Okay, more. There's a few comments here. Let's get to. Okay, here we go. The average medium house in the ghetto in southern Los Angeles was 450 large. That's actually good because there's nothing in Vancouver for under 800 large. Vegan Van Vibe. Greetings, folks. How you doing, buddy? Hi, Vegan. Hello, Vegan. Hi. Wow, everyone's so friendly on here. It's so good. So, Mr. Wake Up USA, I pay $1,500 for a one-bedroom in LA area. Chinese maternity hotel business was busted. Okay, I don't know what that means. Chinese maternity hotel business was busted in my complex. Wow, 8 pregnant women to an apartment. Holy smokes. Proud Canadian says, cities in the middle of nowhere, like Toronto, Edmonton, Calgary, etc., have less potential to keep their home prices high than cities with limited land, like Vancouver and San Francisco, Seattle, etc. Very true, Proud Canadian. Very true. I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that at all. But just like housing is an investment, just like anything else, and people need to realize that. Now they're treating housing as a commodity. Now you really got to start treating it like a business once it becomes a commodity. It's no longer the traditional settle down and raise a family. it becomes a commodity. And you're in full force gambling, investing. So when you buy something, you're making a prediction that the price of it will go up. But I don't know. I'm not feeling the prices are going to keep going up. I mean, what are they going to do? If they continue going up, we are in 2017. Today's Cinco de Mayo, right? So if they continue on this trend, okay, by 2020 or 2025, the average single detached family home is going to be what? $4.4 million? I can't see that happening. I just can't see it. Unless the Canadian dollar devalues so much it becomes like a peso, so they start adding zeros. It's happened. Don't laugh at me. It has happened before, and especially in parts of in Mexico. I know what happened in Belize. I know what happened in Chile, where they just added a zero to make the currency, and then you start carrying this much money with you everywhere you go because that buys a loaf of bread. But I'm not going to get into hyperinflation. I just want to get into... So I want to know from you guys. Okay, there's more. Okay, so Walking Journey says it's not good when your neighbors are MS-13. That's Mara Salvatrucha from El Salvador. Okay, Proud Canadian. Housing has for a long time historically been a big business in Canada and always will be. It's definitely like that. For example, during the Confederation era, homeowners had more privileges than non-homeowners. Hey, vegan, what's up? Yeah, so yeah, when I went to the bank, I never really needed money from the bank, but if I needed something, if I didn't own a home, it was like I was considered useless to them. But that's very true. So let's keep going here. Here's the composite listings here for Toronto. Toronto sales versus listing. So look at the new listings. Woohoo! Holy smokes. And look at the sales. It's almost 12 large. Look at the listings. 21 large. People want out. Holy smokes. Look at that. April 2017. New listings in Toronto climbed 33%. So this is going back to exactly what I read earlier. I don't know why it's copying itself. Okay, here. This is different. This is the first month that inventory had such a significant increase, so it's way too early to call it a trend. What do you want to call it, a blip? Although markets like Vancouver didn't see inventory climb until prices started to show weakness. Which isn't the case here. This is either an anomaly or the start of a very rapidly changing environment, in my opinion. What's your opinion on this? I want to know from you guys. What you guys think? Sorry. Had some buffet today. So today's Cinco de Mayo, people. This is a really good article. I hope you guys are looking at this. It's by Better Dwelling. And look at this one. So look at this. So this goes back to other people talking about housing housing is going to continue going up. This article says basically what that says. What they're saying. Vancouver real estate quietly setting new record in April, although the real estate boards aren't exactly shouting it from the rooftop this time. Uh-oh. Vancouver real estate prices continue to climb in April. Latest numbers from the Real Estate Board of Greater Vancouver, REBGV, stands for Rebel Alliance Bob Go whatever, show the benchmark price rose to record highs. This was despite a steep decline in sales and higher inventory than the same time last year. So, despite that, right? Prices are increasing. The benchmark price continued to creep up as demand for lower price units pushed the average higher. April saw the composite benchmark price of the price of a typical home with luxury bias removed at $941,000. This is a 2.4% increase from last month and 11.4% increase from the same time last year. It's not Toronto's 20%, but prices are still moving quickly. Yeah, because Toronto was just crazy. Let's go to some comments here. Let's see who we got here. Mike, you are live now. Yes. Let me know if you guys could hear me fine. Everything's okay. Okay. We sold our home on the Sunshine Coast. This is from Vegan Van Vibe. We sold our home on the Sunshine Coast about a year ago. Not looking to be homeowners again. Hubby is not well. Renting is now better for us. Sure. I mean, there's always going to be a call for depending, you know what I'm saying? But you know what? Vegan van vibe, if you can, get a nice, when hubby gets better, get a nice, a Winnebago or something. Get your passports up to date. Open road, go out, camp, travel, visit cities, park at Walmarts, enjoy life, get out. Travel's a big part of life, and people that don't get to do it get very they miss out on life if they don't travel. Let's keep going. Okay, here we go. Somebody message retracted. Okay, Chinese maternity hotel business. Pregnant Chinese women arrive during second trimester to give birth on American soil. Birthright citizenship, pay big to landlord. Wow, that's got to be some sort of, if anyone has a link to that, if anyone has a link to what's happening here, it'd be nice to know like what's going on. Proud Canadian. What I find interesting here in the Greater Vancouver area is that towers are rising everywhere. All you see are cranes in Burnaby. Same with Surrey. Yeah, so basically, it reminds me of when I was in Miami. You would go all the way down to Homestead. Right, look on Google Maps. There's Homestead at the bottom, all the way up to West Palm Beach, and look at the map. It's big. It's a little bit. It's about a 40 mile stretch. Cranes along the coast, east of 95. And it was. I remember 2005. It was going crazy. The average condo, a 1-bedroom condo in, let's say, Fort Lauderdale, was like 47 grand. It went up to 150 from 2001. By the time 2005 hit, it was 150 grand. The average house in Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach area was about 140 grand. Went up to 400 or 500 grand. It was crazy. And you had the complete coast in South Florida, in Homestead, all the way to West Palm Beach, maybe even north, Glades up to the Glades and stuff, was just cranes. And everything quieted down. 2007, kaboom, everyone disappeared. Okay, let's go here to... Thanks for shedding light on the problem. Yeah, I do what I can. I don't know. I'm not well versed in the housing market. I did work in finance. I was a regional manager for a huge corporation, managing, it was 28 locations. And I saw what underwriting, and I was on top of the underwriters to make sure garbage wasn't being put on the books. That legitimate mortgages, second mortgages, and proper lines of credit, that the lenders weren't selling garbage. And I was really on that because I don't want customers to suffer. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's go back to more comments here. Canadian dollar falls fast and furious. The race to the bottom continues. Very, very, very true. I have a feeling Trump is increasing jobs and putting things in America, and just, he wants to get America back to when Reagan was president, basically. Reaganomics. Kind of wants to make America great again, basically. During the Reagan time, I don't know how many people watching this right now were alive in that time that remember the 80s. It was a time of relative peace. There was no wars going on. It was, a little bit here, a little scrimmage here, a couple of brush fires in some countries, and a couple of countries being taken, overthrown, stuff like that. But it wasn't like we have today, Back during the Reagan era, if people remember, it was cool music, amazing TV shows. The world was getting along with each other, and people, accepted differences from people, and the 80s was really good. And that's what Trump wants to do, right? But let's see what happens. And this will do an impact. Now, with the soft lumber happening, that's another topic for another soft lumber. I'll get someone on my show that works in the soft lumber industry, and he'll discuss to us what's really happening. Okay, Peter. Newfield. Some careers aren't practical in the interior, like tech. There's also a relative lack of shopping, if that's your thing. Moving out there makes sense for some people, but not everyone. Well, I see it like if I need something bad and I can't buy it locally, I just go up to Kamloops. 40 minutes drive up to Coquihalla, no traffic. Then you get to Kamloops, you're in a different city. It's like, wow, I did a road trip today. And you have a good time. I go to Kamloops maybe once every 2 weeks just for the hell of it. I went to the hobby shop today to pick up something. Nothing major, but you know what I'm saying? There's always other cities you can go to, and it's nice to get out of the town, right? Let's keep going here. Career, practical. Yeah, that's true. And then Yepper's looking forward to doing that. Mike, yeah. Get a Winnebago, an RV, something that could sleep 3, 4 people comfortably. Get out. Okay, let's keep going here. Did the live stream just die? I don't know. It says my stream health is down. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see if it's keeping going here. Yeah, it ended for me. Somebody tripped the plug. The stream is down, Mike. Oh no. What happened? The stream is back and it's now slow. Mike, is your internet okay? Yeah, you know, my internet, I'm plugged in directly. I'm not going, oh, potential serious viewing issues. Huh. Potential serious viewing issues. Don't know what to do to that because I'm plugged in directly to the, let me double check here. I got nothing running in the background. I got nothing else. There should be no, this is like an ultimate gaming PC, and I don't game, so it's, let me go check and see. Internet, yeah, internet's up and running. Let me check here, refresh this. Yeah, I got my internet up. Let's see if this opens. Yeah? Let's see if this opens. Yeah? Oh. That's working. My internet's working. Yeah, okay, I'm back. Okay, I just got a message from somebody that I'm back. I don't know why my stream lagged like that. I don't know why. But anyways, so let's close this and go back to what I was talking about. Okay, let's read some comments here. Comment, people, comment. Let me know what's going on, what's on your minds. Yes, it died and came back up. Peter's asking me, do I have a favorite economist? I really like, if I had an economist that I like, I really like a lot Gerald Celente. That guy's amazing. I met him 2 times in New York. He's one of the best trends forecasters. He's got a good show on YouTube called Trends in the Market. I'm Trends in the Housing Market. He's Trends in the Market, but he's got a following of millions of people. Gerald Celente is amazing. If you haven't logged on to Gerald Celente's channel, please look at get it. Go look at Gerald Celente. He's really good, but he's more Americanized. He talks more about American things, what's happening in America. Another economist that I like is Peter Schiff. He's really good. I met him once at some seminar in, I think it was in South Dakota somewhere, and he went on and talked about investing and to be wary about the housing market. That was one topic that came up, and to be very careful with parking money in real estate and stuff like that. Anyways, let's continue here with some of the, wow. Yeah, I know Robert Schiller and Steve Keen. Those guys are I've heard of them, yeah. Yeah, Peter Schiff all the way, man. Yeah, Peter Schiff is. He's just. Peter Schiff should have been nominated, in my opinion. Should have been put as Treasurer of the United States. Donald Trump should have nominated Peter Schiff. Here you go. You're Treasurer. Fix the problem. What's happening? Fix it. He would have been a good asset to the United States. Okay. Greatest risk from the housing bubble is its effect on consumer demand. We are going to enter a protracted recession due to high housing costs and or loan defaults. For sure, loan defaults. If you go back to that secondary let me see if I have it open here, about that market where we're discussing how that subprime mortgage guys, those Mickey Mouse guys, the guys that you can't go to the bank, so you go to the subprime. They were there, 1 point something billion or whatever they lost. That's just the first step. It's the bad mortgages that start to default. And now with them talking about even raising interest rates even higher, and Bank of Canada is going to have a meeting, next quarter? Whether or not Bank of Canada is going to increase. They have to increase rates. They can't leave it at, the party's got to end sometime. And what's really, really disturbing me is that it's the taxpayers that are going to have to flip the bill. And I read an article, if you guys remember, it was in, I think, November of last year. If you guys remember the article I read about how banks know that people would default and they don't care because they're just going to get bailed out. And I read that article, and and they know that. Anyways. Okay, someone sent me a link here. I don't know any economists. Jim Willie, yeah. Yeah, Clark, out. It's right here. Christy Clark. Here's the article I was going to read to you guys. Somebody, John Kay, just put that on. Brought that to light here. I feel the real estate will improve in BC because I can't buy anything as crazy as it's crazy expensive. But John Kay, in all fairness, I didn't buy nothing in Vancouver, not because I couldn't afford. It's because, once again, and I've said this in so many videos, I am not paying $2.5 million for a house that's really worth $400,000. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. A lot of people are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, no. Because there's a price of what something is actually worth and what people are willing to pay for it. Oh, I'm willing to pay $2 million. Okay, you want to pay $1 million for this jar? Go ahead and pay for it. But what's it really worth? And a lot of people say, oh, it's only worth what somebody's willing to pay. No. There's a lot of underlying things happening that no one's talking about. It's starting to come to light, the shadow flipping, the laundering, all blah, blah, blah. And that's another topic for another day, you know what I'm saying? I got to keep some topics open for different discussions, you know what I'm saying? I can't talk it all on one day. Let's keep going. Let's go. Oh my God, there's so many. Yep, the mortgage brokers, by the way, I know people in Toronto who fake their T4s, pay stubs, and have connections with the lenders. Yep, the lenders themselves, in the drawer, have the whiteouts, the cut and paste, cut, update, fix the T4s, TDS fits, send it to the underwriter. Underwriter checks it because it's a photocopy. This looks good, TDS fits. But in the secondary mortgage market, okay, when you can't go to the bank and you go to those Mickey Mouse places because with a higher rate. And I've said this before. Won't the underwriter look at it, if he's a good underwriter, and say, this guy could just go to a bank. Why is he coming to us for? Because when you look at a squeaky clean deal on paper, okay, you're looking at the deal on paper. The underwriter is looking at, this is what the mortgage is, this is the loan to value, this is how much he's putting down, and this is his income, this is his T4s, here's his pay stub. Most of the times, the underwriter will look at it and say, Was this guy mental? He could just go to the bank and get a better rate. It's them fudging the numbers on T4s and bank statements to basically make the deal work. And what did they do? They put garbage on the books. And when garbage goes on the books, what happens? It fails. Let's keep going. Oh, there's so many comments here. Okay, what about people with 6 or 7 times the income? Okay, here's somebody in Sydney. I'm in Sydney waiting for the 7% decline. Trump's spending will force the Fed to hike. Australia will hike to stop the Australian falling too far. Those folks with 3-time debt as their income will become distressed. Well, people will start losing jobs. People keep forgetting, oh, my income. What if you have no income? Some countries don't let realtors do front and back door representations. Yeah, that's illegal in a lot of places. Totally, $1 million homes in Toronto cost $120K to build. Yeah, that's $120K, but that's with ceramic floorings, marble counters, because the average home is roughly like $30,000 in lumber. We're sitting on a lot of soft lumber right now. Yes, I totally agree with you. Speculation and Chinese money laundering have inflated prices. Yeah, for sure. Both ends. This is a good discussion. You should do more of these live streams in the future. I will start maybe doing a Friday night discussion talking about more of a global thing, because I got a lot of people here from New Zealand, from California, Texas, from everywhere. Okay, okay, G4T's in Texas. Come on, G4T's in Texas. Don't tell me this now. Neil B, 6-7, you're done for. What disposable income do you have left to live off if interest rates rise? Neil, hear me, brother. Credit cards. Credit cards is the new salvation. A lot of people, especially when they're looking at deals, you look at this deal and they're like, this deal's garbage. The guy's credit is garbage. It won't work. A lot of these lenders know the deal won't work, but they want to get it on the books, get their commission, and get their money. But the problem, once again, how are people buying food? On credit. A lot of people are buying food on credit. And it's really sad. You go to the bank and say, hey, I own a house. I need a credit card for 10 grand. Oh, you can live off that for maybe 8 months, 9 months buying food. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. JW, you are a value investor. Mike is a smart man. No, I'm not smart. I'm just understanding when it comes. That's Jake Carter. I just understand what's going on. I like to take a step back and see the scenario. You know what I'm saying? A 1-bedroom apartment just sold for $1.25 million in Sydney today. $150K over reserve. Jesus wept. A 1-bedroom apartment just sold for $1.25 million in Sydney. $150K over reserved. That's enormous. I'm just kind of lost. So move over to Vancouver. You know, your $700,000 1-bedrooms. Sydney tops the icing on the cake. I've been following Sydney real estate for about 2.5 years now. And the Australian proper right now is in such a bad situation right now. A lot of people coming out of college there. Australia is looking anywhere from 11 to 16,000 college graduates, like with good careers per year. And they're bought out of the markets, man. And these people can't move to specific cities to do their business or their trade or what they learned. 1.25 million, 150K over reserve. I can't believe it. But I believe what he's saying here, but it's crazy. Last year, my son bought a home. Okay, for the price of one of our cars here. Crazy. Yeah, it is. That's because Oklahoma is in the middle of nowhere and has no demand. Well, but proud Canadian, you gotta remember, Silicon Valley was a wasteland, zero demand, right? Silicon Valley was basically a nothing, and then they created demand, right? So Oklahoma anywhere can be a place with high demand. So I mean, you could create the demand, right? Like the tech companies did, right? Okay, let's keep going here. Their focus is on higher interest composite for that risk. Yep. True proud. Credit cards, home equity loans. If your family makes 100K per year, take out 200K a year in home equity loans. Buy Mercedes, do fancy renos, and life is good as long as the prices go up forever. And once again, that's what people are hoping. The prices just keep going up forever. No, it's not wine I'm drinking. Let's keep going. Sydney is way overpriced. Yeah. Clayton, hear me out, brother. Once again, it goes back to what I'm saying. If someone's willing to pay $1.25 million for a one-bedroom condo, 150K over asking, there's something really wrong. It's not worth that much. That condo is probably worth normal world, in a different dimension, that condo's worth maybe 90, 110 large for a one-bedroom. That's it. Yep. Go Sydney. We love debt. 1.25. And Clayton comes back to say, poor bastards. And I thought we had it bad in Auckland. No, Auckland's getting hit bad too. Just my 2 cents. I worked in big companies in Toronto. Most of my colleagues owned multiple properties. Most talked about investing in real estate. I felt like I'm an outsider by not doing the same. Well, did they just buy in at the top, or they bought in 10 years ago? Because if they bought in 10 years ago, I'd be ashamed. But if they just bought in at the top, too risky. Okay, bye now. Sorry, I don't have anything I can add to the conversation. Good night, and thanks for the live chat, Mike. Good night. People in Hong Kong live in houses literally the size of coffins, and they rent for $1,000 a month. Yeah, micro units. It's been happening. What is your opinion? If there is a crash, this is from Peter. Crash. Printed money held in real estate may flood other sectors, causing inflation everywhere. However, rampant defaults may deflate prices. Hold cash or assets. I did a video 2 months ago, month and a half. Silver stacking. Stack silver. Go to your local. A good hedge against this is stacking silver. Go to your. In Vancouver, it's called the bullion exchange, gold and silver bullion, or something. You buy 1 ounce. It sells for what market sells at. So you buy an ounce of silver, and let's look at what silver is right now, so I could show you guys. Let's look at silver here. Let's check the news. So here's silver. So silver is going down. So if it's going down right now, you want to buy it when it's low. And then when it gets up here, you could sell it back. Or you could just stack it and hold it. I know a lot of silver stackers who basically stacked almost $500,000 in silver. And they're waiting for the dollar to crash, and then precious metals skyrockets, right? That's usually what happens. Let's go silver price. Come on, why doesn't it give me no silver price here? Okay, spot right here. So it's selling at, let's go to Canadian dollar, 22.26, $22 per ounce silver. It's a good hedge. Silver is a good hedge against what's happening now. You can buy these little 1 ounce bars, 5 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars. Beautiful, nice crafted. Lots of good silver out there. Get your hands on some. Silver is, I think, one of the best way to hedge against what's happening now. And look at this here. Yeah, I think silver's gonna. Because some of the silver I have that I've stacked, I bought it at 18 or 19 an ounce. So Canadian an ounce. So I'm up. It's not major, but I'm up. So let's continue here. Okay, Proud Canadian is saying, you got to remember that location is everything. Every single high home price in the city has limited land usage. Yes, very true. Very true. I understand. But it's at a major, it's out of reach by 99% of Canadian proper. There's no one in Canada, unless you're working in some crooked business and not claiming your income, or I don't know, I'm just going out there, that could afford that kind of price. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Silicon Valley, Vancouver, etc. all have limited land. Oklahoma or Texas doesn't. But what I was saying, Silicon Valley had nothing, right? And they wanted to pick a place to expand or create a technology, or a sector, and they chose that area. But they're regretting it now, apparently. I was reading an article last week that they should have went to a place like Oklahoma or Kansas City or somewhere where they could basically afford to operate out of, because now the employees moving to Silicon Valley and those areas can't afford to live there, and they have to commute 2-3 hours to get to work. But that's a story for another time. Anyways, I'm getting tired. If there's rampant deflation, nobody has money to buy silver anymore, and the price of silver relative to cash could fall. Probably increase in the terms of bread, but cash would be more profitable. Yes, cash is a good liquid. It's the best. It's not like land where you have to sell it to get money. I just believe in silver. I think silver and gold is a good hedge. If you have a lot of money, I think gold is a good hedge, but gold's expensive. You know what I'm saying? Limited land usage doesn't explain $1.5 million condos that are sitting empty. That's by Tyson Fritz. Thank you very much. A lot of councils are not providing the subdivisions to free up land and bring at least the land prices down, at least here in New Zealand. Yes, there was actually somebody in Parliament that was hiding a lot of this stuff and keeping it away from the public. It was this oversized lady that was basically keeping it from people and keeping it from the public's eye. That's really sad that people do this for money. Play with people's lives for money. New Zealand. Anyways, so I'm getting really tired, guys. I really like the contributions to the channel. And I really appreciate you guys commenting. I'll get a nice background back here. You know what I'm saying? I'll get a nice background. I'll set something up nice. And this is refreshing here because silver's changing in price. So I'll close this window so it doesn't glitch. And yeah, you know what? I'll start off a conversation. I'll have a few articles open. We'll talk. And housing is a big deal. I mean, everywhere you go, that's what everybody talks about. And it's really interesting how 30 years ago it was people were talking more about different things. Things change so much, you know what I'm saying? And it's in the last 5 years the world's spun on its head 3 times backwards, and a lot of people are still catching up to accept the changes. You know, I'm still catching up to technology. I'm still catching up to what's going on around us, because some of it I just can't accept. But I mean, you got to call a spade a spade. Anyways, guys, I'm really tired. It's Friday night. It's 11. What time is it? It's like 11. It's almost midnight. I'm tired. I might do this again next Friday night if I'm not doing anything, or I'm not in prison. You could totally make your background one of those of your old videos. Yeah, I could do that. Mikeception. Nice. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm tired. Let me know. I'll change the background a bit, make it look more professional. And comment below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget the subscribe button. Thanks, guys. Bye.